Good evening to everyone. And it's a pleasure to be a part of this great event. Maybe during the COVID time, there was a huge, we could say that there was an online program and people were getting fatigued. But in spite of that, SYPA bringing it up and bringing everyone together. So applaud to the entire team doing a wonderful show over here. So thank you, sir, for giving a short introduction about the topic. Let me share my screen from this end. And sir, please let me know whether if you can see the screen.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, I will just. So for the interest of the bandwidth, I'm just closing my video, but of course, towards our Q&A session, I'll come back. And yes, so I am a part of Crescent Innovation Incubation Council. So I'm happy to see that many familiar faces are here among the participants I was just going through. And of course, Bhaskar sir, everyone knows being a part of Startup TN. And many of the people I am aware of. And again, once again, thanking SYPA, the entire team for giving me the opportunity. So I'm part, as I said, I'm the CEO. I've been part of this incubation center for the past 7 years. And uh, so, uh, so it's about the evolution of startup and startup ecosystem for the past 2 decades, I could say almost 20 years, and the past 1 decade, that is 10 years. So much of revolution and evolution is happening in the businesses, and the mantra is nothing but the startup. So the coming next 20 minutes, I just want to walk you through what is happening in India and what is a startup, because most of the people over here, I assume that uh, everyone is of the businesses and industrialists. So how industrialists and businessmen can be a part of startup ecosystem, and how CIC can be in part of the be a part of your progress, or be a part of the entire startup ecosystem. So to start with, what exactly is startup? So most of the people do who come to us say we are industrialists, we have so much of turnovers, and we need to be a part of startup. So in India, the startup terminology is around any company that is 10 years old and turnover less than 200 CR Indian rupees. So this is what as the government says. But a little bit deeper into it, what we say is a startup is a company who can solve a real problem. So that is, if you see any startup, whether it is a Flipkart or whether it is an Amazon, of course, now you don't call it as a startup anymore. So all these people understood there was a problem. So they pick up the problem, they build over it. So you don't need to have so much of funding. You need not have so much of resources. You need not. The only thing they look forward is patience. If you can have the patience, and if you can run a company in that early 10 stage 10 years, then you are called as a startup. Of course, it is building up, the points are over here. It's powered by ideas. So generally people say that what is an idea? So in India or most of the countries, when you say an idea, it should be something that is patentable. So if you have a patent with you, of course you come under the bracket of startup. And in India, you need to have a DPIIT certificate. So that's entire compliances, which maybe later on we can discuss, or after the Q&A, we can discuss about that. And so how is CIC helping? So CIC, the journey of CIC has been incredible for the past 7 years. We are part of the university called Crescent University, which was founded by B.S. Abdul Rahman Sahib. So his kids or his next generation is taking over. So our pro-chancellor and the chairman of our incubator is Mr. Abdul Qadir. So he is a visionary. He was 10 years back, he seeded this where he himself was an investor and an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. So what he envisioned was why don't we have the entire ecosystem within the university? Why should our students, go out of country? Why should they go search for the jobs outside? Let's build an entire medical college system inside our universities. So it started there. So currently what we have is almost across the 7 years, 200 startups we have been nurtured. To be exact, 149 startups are incubated currently with us. So the major number goes to the life science, then Industry 4.0, smart and clean mobility, built environment, that comes under the prop tech category, then aerospace and defense. So all these startups are either they are in established by our students or a faculty or an alumni, and of course the startups from the outside ecosystem who wanted the support of CIC has come in. So together, what is the impact? So as I said, the government is looking forward more of there is a momentum inside the country about startups. So what we give back to the country? So around 2,000 jobs have been created. So around 1,600 crores of sales turnover. So that means indirectly or directly, CIC startups are helping in the country's GDP. So put together, the valuation of all the startup comes to 3,000 CR. And all our startups were able to raise funding about 39 CR from various, whether it is government or very early stage of 10 lakhs up to 50 lakhs, 1 CR. And private investment comes around to 50 CR, 500 CR, apologies. And again, patent speaks loud about startups. So 149 patents are there. These patents are being commercialized, and that is coming as, the products outside into the market. So these are the starters where we are nurturing. And now coming back, so why India? So I know most of the audience are back there are Indians, the Indian diaspora, and of course Emiratis are there in the online. So why India? Why do you see India as an opportunity to build a partnership? So for that, so India has the majorly is because of the 4 points. One is the talent, being the one of the most highly populated country, and the major population comes to our younger generation. So these generation are they are highly talented, and companies starting in India has a huge potential of getting very talented graduates. And then maybe 20 years back, yes, of course, Indian system was a bit backward, but after the public infra, maybe the digitalization of Indian ecosystem, where Aadhaar, UPI, and ONDC, so many things have come in. It has centralized many of the things that was been a problem statement maybe 20 years back. For instance, when you want to go out, whether you want to purchase a land, you had to go to different ministries, different offices. Now there's a single window system. Likewise, many things are coming in, and of course, the major part is a UPI, where all your banks are being brought under to one platform. So this is one thing that is reachable to the entire population. Any company can reach out. So the digital infrastructure is very strong in India. And many of the investors see Indian startups as a very good base to invest into it. So there are investors that were foreign are coming and seeking, and of course we are able to. Maybe the past 7 years, I could say around 10 to 15 foreign investors have come to CIC to meet only our startups and to see what kind of collaborations can be done. Of course, this includes the different universities too. And then the government support. So government, as you said, government is in need of, the population is rising. Government cannot afford to give jobs for entire replacement to the entire population, the young generation. So they are encouraging new startups. So for that encouragement, they are giving so many relaxation in purchase of land. They are giving funding. They are giving tax holidays, and there are many incubators that is, government is backing many incubators like us. So all these put together, today India is very fertile for you to start a industry. So just a very quick recap, why India? Again, almost 2 lakh or more than 2 lakh of startups are there, which has been recognized. And unicorns, 127 unicorns are there currently. And unicorns, we can say that, which is valued in $1 billion and above. And unicorns, almost another 140 equivalent number of startups are expected to become unicorns very soon. And the combined value, if you see, $390 billion is what the combined value. So this is what the GDP, and this is what the investors get back. And all this is not just, so it is not just one or two places. So if you see that Jaipur is there, Indore is there, Cochin is there, Chandigarh is there. So the entire ecosystem is spread out in India. And now more focus is given to the northeastern place because that has been isolated. Now so many fundings and everything is going to go there, and more startups are going to come from that region. And how the unicorn herd has been growing. So if you see that the earliest to 2018, it is just 18 and 20s, and then there's a huge rush from 2022 onwards. So 100 after 100, India never could keep a track of the unicorns that was happening. I mean, that was mushrooming out. And so where is the next wave? So where is the entire ecosystem is being focused? So AI and deep tech, there's a huge competition, nothing to be told. Fintech. So if you know that Paytm and likewise many companies are evolved from India, and 39 unicorns are coming out of fintech. Then defense and aerospace, climate and mobility. So these are the major focus that today India is looking into. India is dire need of these kind of startups, either in the investment or either in the talent pool, or whichever way you name it. And there are other sectors also which is mentioned the other part where edtech is there. Many edtech companies are coming out where in the examination papers, whether it is sitting the question, everything is being digitalized over here. And coming years, manufacturing is going to be a huge lookout of Indian market where when you know the semiconductors are there that we are depending on other countries over here. So if startups are there coming down just to do the manufacturing, yes, government is there to back you up. So how CIC work with all these government? So today, almost 10 union ministries and Tamil Nadu government is supporting us. We were able to raise 52 CR among from all these ministries. Now, how did we do that? So how is the money being routed out? So the 50% is for infrastructure building. So a startup just needs to walk into CIC. He can just start building his idea. The other 50% is investing into him. So whether it is starting from 1 lakh to up to 1 CR. So we have different schemes. These are the various schemes. And of course, students who have an idea and he wants to become a startup, even he can apply to. So the only mandate is, as I said before, he has to have a DPIT certificate and he has to be incorporated and he has to be within the period of 10 years. So these are the schemes, and we are very proud to say that after IIT Madras, then CIC, Crescent Innovation Incubation Center, comes second in Tamil Nadu, and we stand fifth in the entire Startup India ecosystem. There was a competition last year where we all participated. Out of 25, we came in the top five. So it's a proud moment for entire Tamil Nadu, and of course the people, the stakeholders working very closely with us. So why incubator, as I started with? So the best example is always CIC. We started very small. As I said, it was a vision of our chairman, Abdul Qadir sir. Here, we built our first Section 8 in the year one, I mean, in 2018. And then our first funding came was from BIRAC, which is related to life sciences. So our early stage startups, if you see that, if you saw the chart also, a major percentage, around 60, is into the life sciences. Then gradually we started getting other ministerial fundings, and then as we got, and the very latest was the Defense Ministry's recognition. And then, of course, we were able to work very closely with the Niti Aayog. But Niti Aayog is nothing but everyone knows it is coming under the PM office. So through them also, we were able to bank the prestigious AIC funding. So that is AIC is today our second incubator. So AIC is exclusively for smart and clean mobility. So anything you say electric, green, it comes into that category. And then it was a huge journey where we crossed 100 startups and different industries came into, and the metrics that I said before. So today we are nurturing 200 startups. And thanks to all the stakeholders, and SYPA has also been a major, one of our major stakeholders, giving us pipelines, nurturing those startups from there. And this is the infra. I said 50% is built for the infrastructure. So in Mandalore campus, where the university is, there is around 3 blocks are there. One exclusive for life sciences, one for smart and clean mobility and other for IoT and AI related. Then we have a branch in Madurai. So in Madurai is more focused to livelihood. So that means, so the problem statement over there was like the kids of the farmers, fishermen. So they are educated, but they want to carry on their family legacy. So how to do that? So this Madurai branch teaches them value addition. So from mushroom, how to make a mushroom soup, or from fish to extract the protein. So all those are value addition. So this is like the parental or the family business still being carried on. So that is where Madurai is about. And Bangalore, of course, everyone knows is the investment hub. And we have another office in the heart of the city, that is city center branch. So this is like any startups who want just a co-working space, we provide that. Now, this is the metrics. So these are, as I said before, so these are, I'll not repeat it, but we are proud to say that this is one achievement of CIC across the 7 years. So what do we provide? So when a startup or a founder comes to us, these are the major six things or six components they look from an incubator. It need not be CIC, but any incubator, whether there's a funding source, whether there's an infrastructure for them, whether it can be office space or a lab access, whether they're mentors, how do you help them scale up, and whether there's an IP office over there, and of course, branding and marketing. So these are a couple of things when our startup look forward. And as CIC, this is what we provide. We say 5M as a mantra. So first M is money. So whether it's a pre-seed funding, seed funding, investment, CSR funding, and of course, we started now doing debt funding through major IOB. So recently around 60 CR we were able to raise for four of our startups, cumulative amount. So debt funding also we help, we don't help, we help them facilitate to our bankers. Then mentors, of course, people from various industries, and our major strength is our university, the academic strength, and marketing. National wise, because we have access to all the other incubators and other networks within the country, and international wise, we have a soft launch, or because of Crescent Group has office in UAE, and our alumni and team is also, I feel, they are here too. So there is a huge, great access for us to UAE, Middle East market, and of course the MENA market. Now lately we are trying to gain support through the Europe, then US, then this side Malaysia. So various parts of the globe we are trying to give access for our startups. And machinery is nothing but you have your idea. You can't invest into it, because when you say a life science lab, one equipment itself may cost you 1 CR. So this is a centralized facility, whether it is for life science, industry 4.0, Maker's Lab is nothing but a prototype where we have the CNC machine, we have the 3D printers of various kinds. So everything is there. More value added, IPR services. We help you in patent. We have registered patent officer with us. So if she does it for you, there won't be any fee for you till your filing process. If you go to a non-registered patent office, yes, there is a fee attached to it. So those kinds of, and financial, we have outsourced finance officers. So many startups do not have the strength to keep a CFO or CMO. So those things. So the budget of theirs is becoming very lean because of an intervention of an incubator. And these are, so once your early stage has been graduated, or when you progress to the more progressive or mushrooming to the next scaling up, then we have the investors. So these are just the last year investors, or last year we had a demo day where all the investors and all our startups come together and present. And this year even more investors are coming into our network. So they also, most of them, one way or another, one of these investors have invested into our startups. And as I said, these are a couple of images. And in Madurai, we have powder machinery. So if a food comes into powder machinery or liquid machinery, all these setups are there. And when it comes to mobility, simulation lab, hill lab, everything is there. So Makers Lab, as I said. So all these are, so government had funded us, and of course, more than government, equal amount of university support is there. I have to say that, because without the management support, we will not have reached over here. So the entire space, so I have to thank to our Crescent management, who has been a part and parcel in building up this facility CIC, and likewise building up the entire ecosystem within the Vantalur and spreading the arms to other. And I said international. How do we help in international marketing? Just one of the two best examples. So Denwick is into IoT for poultry farming. So they are IoT related company. So the early stage seed fund was given by CIHub, and then they were taken to Dubai for manufacturing. And there they were able to raise small funding. And today they are extending into European market. So Rapti is another OEM company. If you see the other bike, so they just came to us just with a chassis diagram, nothing else. It was just purely a diagram. At that stage, we invested 35 lakhs onto them. And today they are highly valuated. One of our highly valued flagship startup, I could say, about 720 CR. So they have started selling those bikes into the market, and Dubai market, reaching out to Dubai market. Of course, a Crescent family is supporting. So these are a couple of interesting startup case stories I wanted to share. Now coming back, so why UAE? So it was never, UAE was never different. India and UAE has always been a part and parcel, or you can say two arms of a body. So what is in it for the UAE? So when UAE founders are there, and if they want to start up any startup in India, then you can always reach out to us, whether it is, whether identifying a land, or whether you want a talent acquisition, or you want to do some marketing or manufacturing. So this is for the UAE founders when they want to start any holding company. Now, for the UAE investors, as I said, it's very fertile for you. It's the right time for you to invest in very early stage. And most of the investors have reaped at least 5x, 10x, if not from our startups, from other startups also. So it's a good time to invest into India. And corporates. So how do we work with corporates? Corporates do have a huge problem statement, and for them to invest into R&D, it's another capex, OPEX for them. So what they do is, this is one of the case studies, like KTM bikes, most of you are aware of. So KTM bikes and the Australian company, they came to us. They wanted to identify low cost R&D. So they give us a 25 problem statement. So they wanted startups as above 5 to 6 TRL level. So when you say that, the startups are ready to marketable. So those problem statements we flooded into the entire in India, starting from Tamil Nadu. Then because of all this ministerial support, so they were able to identify best 5 startups who they have to consider them as their vendors. So these kind of collaborations, so you are able to get a low cost R&D at the same time a startup is getting international client also. There's a win-win marriage or win-win situation happening over there. So these are the various kinds of collaborations that we can do with the UAE. And of course, UAE is a huge Indian diaspora is there. So any people who wishes to come back and restart your life in India also, there is CIC for you. As I said, from your early stage, starting from 10 lakhs to 1 year, various fundings are there, various mentors are there, various platforms are there. So we are there to support you. And maybe I know I'm running short of time. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, SYPA, again, for giving me this opportunity. Of course, my boss, Dr. Parvez Alam, was supposed to be here. And unfortunately, he's still in the flight. So I have to thank my boss also giving me an opportunity to talk to the wonderful audience over here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nisha. This is wonderful. You mentioned about the entire support system. And one question I have was, is it only for the students, or anybody can walk in and just give their ideas and, take your support system?
Yeah, so startups are, I know most of the people have this question because we are attached to a university, but our student across the 200, only 2% is a student startup. So the
Mhm.
other, then all put together, student, faculty, alumni put together is only 20%. So the entire 80% is external. That means very matured or industrialists who came back and started, or ideas, very new freshers who just started their companies. So it's nothing. Students are part of the ecosystem, but more we do support other people too.